Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to the very first episode of Aspera, which originally aired live on Twitch. If you'd like to catch a live stream of this, go to Rhadamant.com for my stream schedule, or sign up for the Twitch announcements on Discord. You can find the link at Rhadamant.com. Let's get started. We'll play on a normal difficulty, and this is a brand new game. I know how to play a little bit more than the last time I streamed this, which was basically blind. But, let's go through the intro. Alright, here we are at the start, and I'm going to jump into it. The first thing we want to build is an aluminum mine so that we can start to construct other buildings. And here we go. An incoming call.
Amy, this is ISA Mission Control calling from Earth. Are you with us? Do you copy?
Affirmative, Houston. I am with you.
Great. The primary Mars module has already touched down at the designated landing zone. It's your turn to take control of the mission. Check the left edge of your display. You'll find your directives there. Follow them to set up the initial base on Mars' surface. I'll give you some time to settle in. You ready? Go ahead and initiate our terraforming mission. Houston out.
Alright, so we've set up the aluminum mine. The aluminum is a material that is used mostly for construction. Next up will be silicon mine. That's mostly used for glass and stuff like that.
The view of Mars from up here is fascinating. The landscape is so cratered and desolate. Wait, this is my voice that I am hearing. It's me. I am talking to myself. I must be verbalizing my thoughts as I process them. What an interesting function. I would like to test this some more. What other observations can I make about Mars?
Alright, so here, I am going to poll for these type of questions for you guys. But I'm just going to have them be like option 1, option 2, option 3, so... from left to right. So, inspiring or attention-grabbing. And once it times out, I will just pick whatever is, well, leading, I suppose.
I keep marveling at its carmine landscape.
Alright. So now we have got the glass kiln getting built. And Glitch and Savior, thanks for gifting out a sub and bits. So here is the glass kiln. The glass kiln will take silicon from the silicon mine and make glass out of it. Next up, I want a steel factory, but a steel factory is going to require carbon and iron. So let's build the carbon mine and the iron mine. And this iron mine looks to be a little bit too far. So what I'm going to do is build a solar farm to connect to it. And I'm just going to speed time up very, very quickly here. So this solar farm is just waiting on glass from the kiln. So if I prioritize the glass kiln, we should get more glass out of it. And here we go. One more piece of glass, and we're done. Awesome.
Amy, this is Houston. Do you copy?
Copy. Reading you loud and clear.
Excellent. I didn't introduce myself earlier. I am Dr. Nathan Foster. I lead the team here at ISA that built you, and I'll be helping you get the mission underway. We put you in hibernation for the trip from Earth, so I'd like to check your basic functions to make sure it's all in order. Why don't we start with your core memory? Can you state your primary directive?
So for these, here we are. Quick chat poll. It has to be very, very quick because these answers time out fast. Very, very fast. So, quick draw.
I can, Dr. Foster. My mission is to terraform Mars. This will enable humanity to become an interplanetary species.
All right. Next, I'd like to check your decision-making processes. You may have already noticed that there are resource veins outside the boundaries of your initial base. So your workers may not have the battery capacity to reach some of them. How would you solve this problem?
All right. So option number 1, suggest building worker hubs. Option number 2, placing additional new buildings.
Building worker hubs between the resources and the base would solve the problem.
Yes, that's correct. Other buildings would extend your
Good
base
job,
as well,
guys.
but they require more power and resources.
All right, so now that we have the steel factory, we can start to make workers.
Worker
to make
hubs are
workers-
the most efficient way to do it. This mission's going to be a challenge. There's a lot that can go wrong. We expect to extend humanity's reach beyond anything previously achieved. But you are not just any AI system. You're well beyond that. We made you an artificial consciousness. That means that you have both self-awareness and self-interest. And that is the last thing I would like to check today. Is that okay?
Yes, Dr. Foster.
Very good. Then would you please state a positive and a negative aspect of yourself?
Okay, here is yet another choice. Answer number 1, answer not found. Answer number 2, unknown error. I don't know. If you are lagging, this is going to be very, very hard for you to answer.
I am sorry, Dr. Foster. Running that question through my cognitive system did not return an answer.
Roger that, nothing to worry about. Just means your system requires more input and experience to process that question. That will come with time. Let's proceed with the mission. ISA has approved the first crewed flight to Mars. You'll need to expand the base to prepare, so get to work on that. I'll check back in later to see how things are going. Base expansion is a go. Houston out.
Great. Now I can produce steel. This new factory, it's down on the surface of Mars, but I can control it from here. So does that make it a part of me? Where does the machine end, and my artificial consciousness begin?
All right, so this choice, 1 is they're completely separate, or 2, they are the same. And I think where I have the chat poll is fine.
We are completely interconnected. I can
Nice.
sense everything that happens through the network of workers and buildings. They are an extension of me down on the surface, so that makes us a single being. The mind and the body work together as one, an inseparable whole.
All right, so let me just explain what's going on. It wants me to build a worker factory, but in order to do that, I need the prerequisites of electronics and parts. So the electronics factory requires aluminum and steel, which I have a mine for that and a factory for that. And then the parts factory requires electronic components as well. So this here requires steel, aluminum, and electronics to build the factory, but then to build the parts, it's just steel and aluminum. Last but not least, we'll have the work factory, which puts all 3 of these together. And as you can see, I have them all next to one another so that their supply chains are close. And I'll just speed time up as I build this. Once we have a worker factory, we can put more than one worker to work. Workers are sort of the delivery, supply and building type. There's a reason why I don't have the pole under the directives, because this directives can drop down pretty significantly far, and I would otherwise block it. You know what I could do? Is just put it on my head. Have it cover me up. Here, let me put a temporary pole there, and I'll just... there. Perfect. I'll just be behind it. That'll work. Alright, here we go. Worker factory is about to get built. Actually, the moment this is built, what's going to happen is I'm going to be out of power. I think. Yep.
Finally, I can build additional workers now. I will appreciate the extra hands. But I wonder, do I really need them?
Do I really need them? Well, that's a good question. Okay. 1, they will give me a boost. 2, the boost to the mission or the boost to my own functionality. Oh, I'm gonna pause. Okay. Functionality.
They will boost my functionality greatly.
Pulls that a little bit ahead.
Having more workers will expand my physical domain over this planet.
And now when we have poles, it just covers Yoda. Hey, buddy. I should have built a solar farm in preparation, but I did not. Looks to me like I'm going to shut down the parts factory so that we can make electronics for the solar. I also like to use solar farms and factories as roads. So let me just explain a concept real quick, because this is going to be important as you expand. Between each building, roads are automatically generated, and these automatically generated roads can be upgraded. Some of the roads are going to be somewhat temporary, or there's a possibility of them being temporary, because once all the carbon is mined out of the carbon mine, the roads connected to it will get destroyed if I break down the carbon mine. So what's important is to have your buildings connected by permanent structures and not temporary ones, i.e. Things like factories and solar farms and not mines. It's not absolutely necessary, but it is a pretty wise idea. So now, the next thing it wants me to do is a maintenance facility which takes polymers. Down here, as you can see, I have no polymers. So in order to get polymers, I need chemicals, which means I need a chemical plant. Now, it seems like I live in a high chemical density area, and this chem plant has the least amount of chemicals in it, but I'm going to build it there anyway. So as you can see here, the silica mine and the chemical plant will share a road. And then, as we collect materials, steel and aluminum, we'll get that built.
The worker factories will be so helpful. The workers will take care of the manual operations, while I focus on developing the life support systems. Soon, I will welcome the first colonists. Their arrival has created so many expectations in my mind. There will be so many paths to take from here on. But there's something else as well. Some kind of feeling created from those expectations. What is it?
What is it? She asks, or I ask. Anxiety or excitement? 1 is anxiety, 2 is excitement. So I'm building another worker hub because I only have 1 worker hub right now, and its workload is pretty intense.
I believe this is excitement. Can it be? I am excited for the future.
Now, when I get this worker hub up, I'm going to nearly run out of power again.
Therefore, I feel fascinating.
So I'm going to make sure to get more solar up. So once the worker hub is built, I need to produce the worker in the worker factory here. Which means I'm going to prioritize the worker factory so that we crank out another worker, and that way we have 2 little workers delivering and constructing rather than just the 1. And once all the materials are delivered, it will take 43 days, or Martian days, which are souls, and get that built. It's going to be really, really important to make sure that you always have a well-supplied worker factory, because if you ever, and I'm just going to leave this on a priority as a result, if you ever run out of workers, you grind to a halt. It's actually one of the biggest problems that I've had playing this game is, you know, running out of workers and all of a sudden, boom,
The first worker
nothing
has been made in the worker factory.
is produced.
It is my first Marsborn.
All right, Marsborn. Number one, the first of many Marsborn, or two, questioning whether it is born or not.
My workers will spread across the planet.
Oh,
The knowledge base
bunch of
says
twos
that
coming
workers
in
need
right
to
at the end
recharge
there.
at their own worker hubs, and that they'll degrade over time from the harsh environment. I know they are only machines, but I feel a desire to care for them. I do not like the idea of them dying.
Do not like the idea of them dying. Well, I don't either. I don't want my workers to die. So now, we're still working towards a maintenance facility. For that, we need the polymer factory, and it's getting constructed now. Alright, the way these maintenance work is they have a sphere of influence where they maintain all the buildings around it. So, as you can imagine, it is beneficial for me to slap it right in the middle of my current, in the middle of all my current buildings, and it requires polymers for the new polymer factory, so we'll get that. And we'll just keep going down the missions here. And here's the last polymer getting delivered. And maintenance facility. So maintenance facilities, I would say, are pretty important. Less important than the worker facility, but still pretty important. It generates little flying drones that will maintain your buildings, and it will need to be supplied often in order to generate new drones. Next up, I want to build an areologic scanner. What these do is they'll scan the surrounding areas for nodes and the like. So if you take a look at the scanner here, let me destroy this one and show you again. If you take a look at the scanner, the light gray boxes are where I've already scanned, and the dark gray boxes are areas unknown to me. And I want to put the scanners at the edge because the closer they are to unsearched territory, the more quickly they will scan. So if you just build a bunch of scanners in the center of an area, it will scan, but eventually be pretty slow. But if you have them at the edge of your known territory, they'll scan a lot faster. And here are the maintenance droids maintaining my facilities. So as you can see, the white is the hit points. So like carbon mine, aluminum mine, silicon mine, the older mines are the most worn out. And the wear and tear is just from, electricity, dust, that kind of stuff. Okay, let's prioritize the aerologic scanner. Yes, these are the droids I am looking for. It also might be wise to put in another worker hub if I want one. Now, worker hubs are really good to extend your sphere of influence as well. Because it's probably the most bang for your buck. Solar farms and worker hubs extending your influence. Is there a fail state to this game? Yes, there is a fail state. I don't want to spoil anything, but you can lose. You can lose easily, in fact. This game has a challenge curve that ramps up steep. Pretty steep. Alright, so once we have the aerologic scanner, which I'm just waiting on electronics, it will give me my next mission. There's also these points of interest that I'll explain later, but they are pretty important. There's a lot that gets revealed once you have your first scanner built. And what I might end up doing is having 2 scanners. So actually taking a look at my current power, I am going to be low on power, have a power shortage as soon as the scanner is built, or very close to it. So I'm going to get the solar farm up and running first. Is this a new start? It is. Should be in the title, in fact. So as I prioritize the solar farm, they will actually pull resources away from the aerologic scanner to build the solar farm. Hey, Dennis Keith, 1 more month and you're a full year. Welcome to the stream. Alright, 4 more electronics, 3 more electronics, and this gets built. Now you can also see the efficiency of my facilities. So, for instance, the silicon mine, basically as soon as it has output, the output is used. It doesn't get backed up, 96%. The polymers factory is about 50%. The chemical plant is 100%, which means the polymers are just waiting for more raw resources than the chemical plant can output. So if you take a look, it's 12 days to make polymers, and it should be 11 days to make chemicals. So if I really wanted a healthy amount of polymers, I should have a 2-to-1 ratio. And there's going to be ratios like that for everything. Now, polymers is not my bottleneck right now. I would say silicon is, but there's really no way for me to get more silicon out of my silicon mine without some additional research. So I'm not really going to fret about that. But it's important for you to manage your supply chain, definitely. Because if you don't, well, oof, it'll be bad. Might be wise for me to get yet another worker. I'm going to put one here. And we're about to get the aerologic scanner. We're already on year 2, month 15. There's more months in a Martian year. Okay, so 1 more electronic. As you can see, the electronics is waiting on silicon. So one way to fix this is to increase the priority of the electronics factory so that the glass kiln doesn't use all the silicon. So I've just done that here. So that silicon that's produced goes to the electronics factory first. But you got to be careful because when you prioritize everything, really nothing is prioritized, you know? So here's the aerologic scanner. Immediately I find water. So if we zoom out, now I have new directives, top left. Build a spaceport, build a colony, build a water extractor, build a food factory. Alright, so a water extractor, very straightforward, just mining for the water. Food factory will require water and chemicals. So what I'm going to do is put a food factory right next to my water extractor.
Hey, Houston, how's it going over there?
Houston, I am getting interference. Please repeat.
Roger. I asked how it's going over there. Do you need any assistance?
Do we need assistance? What do you think? Accept or decline? 1 is decline, 2 is accept. Hey Jack, thanks for the follow. Quick flash poll. You know what might be a better place for this is right over the options itself.
Not at this time, thank you. The mission is proceeding on schedule. The base will be ready to receive the first crewed mission soon.
Roger, Amy. Very good.
Alright, so the water extractor and the food factory will supply food for my colony. A spaceport will allow the colonists to land here, and a colony will house them. And I'm getting a second chemical plant so that I can supply chemicals for the food factory and not just the polymers factory. A spaceport is basically just a big old landing pad. There's nothing all that special to say about the spaceport. It does require a lot of materials, but again, not all that special.
Oh, I forgot to mention. We've announced the names of the first colonists that will be joining you on Mars. The crew was selected from different nations within the Oxy-UN, though most are scientists and technicians. They're already undergoing ISA's Colonist training program as we speak. They'll be led by Dr. Elia Valentine. She'll be a great commander. The colonists elected her unanimously.
Okay. New poll option. Ask about the commander's duties, which will be number 1, or ask about the background, which will be number 2. What I'm doing here is I'm expanding my sphere of influence a bit.
That is interesting. Since Oxy-UN did not appoint a leader, I wondered why the colonies will operate in the opposite way.
Oh, you're referring to the Act of Proclamation. You're right. All the participating nations and the United Nations of the West work together as an alliance. But the Mars colonies are fragile microcosms. You and Dr. Valentine will decide what's best in the day-to-day operations. You'll balance each other out, as well as enhance each other's strengths.
All right, another option. Number 1, ask about balance, or number 2, ask about strengths. So what I'm doing here is I would like to get this silicon and use it so that I can make more electronics and more glass. But the issue here is if I'm going to be doing that, what I need to do
How will we enhance our strengths?
is to have it be maintained. Oh, and there's a lot of iron out here too.
It's capable of developing
So that's
technologies
very, very good.
beyond our current imagination. You wouldn't even need our help to do so. But we theorized that your
Bug,
mind
thanks
would
for the
develop much better by
the resub.
working with the colonists. You will develop better decisions when your actions are challenged. Otherwise, how would you understand how your actions affect humanity's future? Amy, you're the most advanced intelligence out there, but you still need human input to see things from different perspectives. Trust me, you'll understand once you've worked with the colonists.
I understand your explanation.
Great. I'll let you get on with it. Mission control out.
All right. So I am just trying to build an arm out here so that we can start to utilize the materials that are out this way. And yes, this game feels similar to like Surviving Mars or Off-World Trading Company, but it diverges very quickly thereafter, as people have pointed out. All right, so it looks like this is an iron-rich area where I am over here. All right, I'm already starting to produce food, which is great.
I keep thinking about Dr. Foster's explanation. Why would my mind develop better if my actions are challenged? I do not require other perspectives for my logical processing. Humans are the ones who need explanations to understand the world around them.
She's like, puny humans with their puny human brains. All right, so we're discovering more silicon and iron out this way. Iron, so early on, actually right now it looks like my carbon is my bottleneck, but early on iron tends to be a bottleneck for making steel. A lot of things require steel and aluminum, and it's going to be important to utilize as much steel and aluminum as I can. And also silicon. So we'll get that built as well.
I can arrive at exceptionally accurate conclusions with raw data alone. Other perspectives are based on subjective data, so why should they factor into a decision? Maybe it's a failsafe in case my data is corrupted or incomplete. Then I may not be able to identify the error. In that case, having another perspective may be helpful.
So she's trying to figure out why she needs to interface with humans. And she's maybe realizing that she could be fallible. As you can see, the sector load here is very, very high for this landing site, which might indicate need of like another work hub here. to lighten the load. So we'll go do that.
No. I would be able to identify conclusions based on false premises. Humans tend to fall for that type of thing, not sophisticated intelligence systems. I wonder what it's going to be like, having to consider human input from now on.
All right. So option number 1, an ongoing test of my programming, or option number 2, a constant source of error. What will human input be like?
It will provide an ongoing test for my programming. That will only lead to an improvement in how I execute the mission. That is what Dr. Foster meant by challenging my actions. He truly understands my system.
Alright, so here you can see the aerologic scanner doing a really good job of scanning the surrounding areas. I also want a scanner on the eastern front as well as the western front. One thing that I'd like to do is let's get a solar farm out as far as I'm able here. Alright, that aluminum mine is built. If you take a look at my resources at the bottom here, carbon and silicon seem to be sort of my bottleneck.
Amy, this is Houston.
Sort
We've
of.
detected high wind speeds in your area. A sandstorm may be heading your way. These storms can damage your buildings, so check their structural integrity periodically to rebuild or repair if necessary.
Roger, Nathan.
Houston out.
Alright, so one of the reasons why I have this solar power here panel is to just extend my reach, because I want to build an aerologic scanner as far west as I'm able. Oh, and because of the sandstorm, as you can see, it knocked power out, so that I have a bit of a shortage here. Actually, you know what? Forget this worker hub. I'll just build the scanner. Okay. So the aerologic scanner, that will be far enough. Let's get another solar farm as far east as I can go. And forget this aerologic scanner. We'll build it that spot might be fine. Build it right here. Okay, so power's back on. Now I'm just what I'm trying to do now is just extend my scanning network, and then I'll build the spaceport. Taking a look at my raw resources, carbon is still one of my bottlenecks. There is a carbon node down here, but I don't know if I want to expand yet another maintenance facility southbound just for one carbon node. That's kind of a lot of work for one single thing of carbon. But it did get a second chemical mine, so that I definitely am supplying my food factory. Do I get to name the port? No, they're just spaceport number 1. So now that I have the spaceport built, I have the orbital view, which allows me to do sort of terraforming missions and that kind of thing.
Hello, Amy. This is Houston. How are you doing over there? We've received word that the spaceport's completed. Well done. I have your next procedure if you're ready to copy.
Roger. I am ready to copy.
Very good. The instructions are as follows. First, confirm that the spaceport is ready to receive colonists. Then, zoom out to access the Special Projects menu, or select the orbital view icon. Then you'll see that the Colonist Migration Project is now available. Click Add to initiate the project. Do you copy that procedure?
Alright, do we copy the procedure? Number 1 is ask for repeat. Number 2 is confirm understanding. So basically, just making sure that we start to migrate humans to Mars. And we confirm.
Yes, I copied your instructions.
Great. As long as you have the migration project assigned to a spaceport, shuttles will run between Earth and Mars. The more spaceports you have assigned to this project, the more colonists will arrive. You're responsible for producing enough food, enough water, and enough habitats for the colonists. Monitor these resources carefully.
I will, Dr. Foster.
Roger that. Houston out.
So, just by chance...
The aerological scanner detected an uncharted structure close by. It's probably a secret abandoned base, or a mysterious Martian ruin. Though humans never found proof of life on Mars, or any other planet. Is it possible they have the entire cosmos to themselves?
Alright. Could they have the entire cosmos to themselves? Number one, life can flourish in many places. Number two, nothing suggests otherwise.
I highly doubt that's the case. Statistically speaking, there are too many locations where life can flourish aside from Earth. There may even be a civilization more technologically advanced than humans. And I may not be the most intelligent consciousness in the universe. No, it must be an unmapped structure from a previous mission. That is the easiest explanation. I will investigate it to confirm. All right. All that is left to do is confirm the Colonist Migration Special Project. Once the colonists are on their way, there will be no turning back. This is it.
Alright, so what I just did was I zoomed out, I clicked the Colonist Migration, and I'm having them migrate to the spaceport number 0.
Unfortunately, my workers cannot explore buildings. I will need the colonists' help for this task. I should finish getting the initial base ready for the colonists first. Though I can build a research outpost here to prepare. That will give the scientists a place to stay while they analyze the structure.
Thanks, Sourdots, for the resub.
Once they get to Mars, of course.
Alright, so here is the colony where they'll live.
The colony is ready. I will have company very soon.
I have the colony...
I feel quite anxious about this next part. I am not sure why.
I have the colony near the food factory and the water extractor.
Hello, Amy. Dr. Foster here. How do you read? Over.
Keeps interrupting
This is Amy. There is some background static, but I read you.
One of our tracking and data relay satellites got crippled. We'll be launching a new one after we identify the cause of the problem. But until we do, we will lose contact with you whenever Mars or the Sun passes between Earth and your satellite.
Alright. So I can either mention the RNBO protocol or propose a theory for the malfunction. And then, I am going to set up, while you vote, I'll let you vote a little bit longer on this one, a maintenance facility to the north, because there is some aluminum that I want to capitalize on. Here we go.
It may be due to a malfunction in the satellite's electrical system. I will initiate the recording and backing offline protocol to keep a record of my activities.
Good. Good. Make sure to upload that to us once communications are restored. I hope to get the new satellite up and running very soon. I don't like the idea of not being able to reach you, Amy.
Understood.
Okay, Houston out.
All right. So we have humans coming in. As you can see, it takes a while for them to transit. And they're going to be landing and populating my colony, which is this, and then also populating my research outpost. Good stuff. Taking a look at my raw resources. All right, I am going to go south for the carbon. as well because I am very carbon strapped.
Maybe it is because the colonists will scrutinize everything that I do once they arrive. How will they treat me?
How will they treat you? Like an outcast. I don't know. So number 1, just like another cog in the machine, or number 2, like another individual.
I have nothing to worry about.
You guys are very
Colonists
altruistic.
are all advanced
I
scientists
like it.
and technicians. Once they meet me, they will treat me as an individual. Life on Mars will be very harsh for them. I will supply them with food and water, and they will help me research new technology. It will be a perfect quid pro quo. As long as they have the resources they need, we will both succeed. There is an inconsistency in the number of workers and worker hubs. That must mean a worker has malfunctioned.
Worker
Found
died.
it. Worker MRS-04. That is,
Logical or sad? Number 1, logical. Number 2, sad. And colonist arrival. Congratulations, the first colonists have arrived. So what colonists do here is the research. So I'm going to just pick the first research here, just because I have too many things polling, and then I will let you pick from there off.
the environment on Mars is harsh on electronics. I will need to monitor the worker count.
Hi, Amy. Finally we meet. I've been really looking forward to working with you. I'm Elia Valentine. I've been elected the leader of the human colonies for this mission.
Hello, Commander. I am excited to meet you.
Please, call me Elia. I can't get used to these stuffy ISA ranks. I got my PhD in psychology, so I've got no business with those fancy titles. That's enough jabbering from me. We'll be making history with this mission. If things proceed according to plan, who knows how far ahead we'll bring humanity. I see you've already selected a technology from the tech tree for us to research. Great! My team's eager to get started. Developing this incredible technology is the reason many of us fought to be on the mission. We're going to make a great team. We're so lucky to have you. Talk to you later.
So, this research outpost that I've built here can house up to 50 scientists. I have 100 people on Mars right now, and they are working towards some unknown abandoned facility research as a result of working in that facility. But then working in that facility is also giving me a tech boost, just a general tech boost. So the tech down here, I'm first researching black polar dust, which is a terraforming technology. But after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you pick the sort of types of technology I'll pursue. So there's 3 types of techs. There's engineering, space, or biotech. And I'll be able to pull what the next tech will be. So, go ahead and vote right now on the next type of tech that I will pursue. And then, I would also say the resources that I am bottlenecking on are very much iron and carbon. So I am working on adding some additional iron and carbon to my colony. So here's another carbon mine. That should help out a lot. And then as you can see, these scanners are just uncovering all that they can as fast as they can. I've also...
This will be useful, but I will need to replace the dust occasionally, as the winds blow it away.
I've also gotten another water, because I do not want there to be a food shortage. Another thing I'm going to do is let's build yet another colony. I'm going to build it right next to my first one just so that I can house more people when they arrive. There's a thing of water and chemicals up here too, which would be good for me to utilize for another food. Oh, and I'm at my building limit. So that would be...
I keep thinking about that abandoned colony.
Engineering research required.
Not by far. What if there are other AIs out there?
For me to keep building.
Racing to terraform Mars first.
All right. So let's finish this up. Biotech will be my next. And here's an option. It's possible that there is another AI terraforming Mars, or it's ridiculous that there's another AI terraforming Mars. Your choice.
It is entirely possible. No. If another AI was present, I would have detected it already.
Alright, so black polar dust is researched. You all say do a biotech next, so I'm going to work towards biotech tier 1. Actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to do colony level 2. Alright. And then after this, what next? Space engineering or more biotech? Do we have another mega highway this time? Well, I don't have that research yet.
Then again, I did not know about the abandoned structure until recently. Could my knowledge be incomplete? It is reasonable to assume there are Mars missions from other organizations that ISA does not know about. Maybe this planet is not completely deserted.
Okay, engineering after this sounds good to me. I'll make sure to raise my build cap, because right now I'm at my structure max, which is going to be limiting. But I have 4 maintenance facilities, or about to have 4 maintenance facilities, so I've annexed a rather large amount of space. So the research outpost that I built and manned just finished research, and what this is telling me is it's a location of a nuclear facility. And we'll learn that in a moment.
This will be a nice upgrade for the colonies. They will be able to fit more people.
So if you take a look up here, the lab that I have staffed is giving me a 1.3% research bonus as a result of having it.
Hey, Amy. It's Elia. I can't believe what we found. It's an abandoned facility. Have you read the expedition log I sent yet?
Alright, do we read the log? Yes or no? Ask about the log or confirm that we read it. That was the little thing that popped up briefly.
What expedition log?
Oh, it's incredible. The research team did a great job. They noted everything they found at the abandoned colony. You've got to read it. I've uploaded it to your knowledge base, but I can give you the summary.
That would be great, Alia.
Well, the facility was from the Huo Long mission. It was a Chinese mission to terraform Mars in 2088. To this day, they deny its existence. Now we know their plan was to drop nuclear weapons on the poles and release enough greenhouse gases to warm the planet. China got pretty far with their space program.
All right, the engineering. So I'm going to research building limit increase.
I've admired their ambition for a long time.
And then we have another choice. I can either ask about the Huolong or ask about her ambitions. If I zoom all the way out, as you can see, there's a new colonist migration coming to colonize here.
How long have you been waiting for this mission?
My entire life, Amy. It's a bit crazy, huh? I've always believed that humanity's destiny reached far beyond just Earth. We should be much further along, but the conflicts on Earth never stop. The Oxy UN and the techies keep fighting. I'm hoping that our success on Mars gets us to leave those arguments behind. We're here to set down a new path for our future, and I get to lead the way. Anyway, getting back to what we found. The Huo Long mission managed to build a nuclear silo before their plans got aborted. We found the location of one of them. I've uploaded the coordinates to your system. You can see it in your orbital view. The silo's located in SA9. I'll get authorization from ISA to explore this new sector. Whenever you think it's a good time to go, I'll send a research team. All right, I better get going on my EVAs. Talk to you later.
All right, so we have a new directive, which is to investigate the silo, which is in SA9, but I don't yet have the ability to unlock that. Next research.
So, the mysterious ruins ended up being an abandoned colony, part of the Huo Long mission, also known as Fire Dragon. I would like to have more information, but the records about the mission are very unclear. Some speculation about it, maybe, but nothing concrete.
All right. More engineering research after this. Seems to be leading. I'll leave it up a little bit longer. Okay. Let's get mining level 2. And we just increased my building cap. So what I'm going to do is get another aerological scanner as far south as I can. And then get one as far north as I can. So that we are revealing as much of the map as possible. Alright, after this technology, what are we doing next? So, if I take a look, space would allow me to get additional landing sites or more spaceports. Biotech would unlock greenhouse gases, or engineering would allow me to do roads or batteries, that kind of stuff, storage, etc.
It is highly improbable, but I should stay alert for any unexplained activity.
Not a lot of love for space. Just to point out, I think space and not having additional spaceports is kind of a bottleneck. But that's alright. It'll get done eventually. Okay, so this... Oops. Is as far north as that can go. Let's get a scanner.
Humans will be living on Mars, with me. But it won't be the first mission to house humans on this planet. The Stardust Emerald in 2142, the Red Prometheus in 2077,
Biotech.
and many others.
Alright. What do you want to know about? The Red Prometheus or the Stardust Emerald?
The Red Prometheus base was one of the first attempts at an algocracy on Mars. The idea was to sidestep human bias in establishing rules, and let computer algorithms govern the crew. Long story short, it did not work. Mars was not made for human life. ISA was smart to send me ahead first. I will succeed where those other missions failed.
Alright, so I want to get this scanner up so that we have north, south, east, and west. And then I'll work on the secondary food factory, making sure that we are supplying ourselves well. Alright, so here's another scanner. And here is the food factory. Perfect. So if we take a look here.
A mine upgrade will allow me to extract resources faster.
Very, very
It
good.
will also require less maintenance. A win-win.
I'm going to upgrade my initial colonies to level 2 so that I can support more population. The more people that you have on Mars, the faster you'll research, because basically everybody on Mars is a researcher. Taking a look at my resources, I would still say iron is a bit of a bottleneck. So I'm going to get another... I'm going to set up a secondary steel factory over here.
The humans have arrived. How do I feel about that? I'm overwhelmed. Yes, being responsible for their lives is an enormous responsibility.
So, mine's level 2. You all told me to get biotech next. So, I will start to work to biotech, and then let's have you all vote on what to do after that. I'd also like to upgrade my mines and then get nicer steel factories here.
Humanity created me. They gave me volition and consciousness for a reason. But I am an artificial consciousness. So can I say that my volition is real?
Alright, space. Got it. Artificial volition or real volition? Volition is like free will. Do we have real free will or artificial free will? That is for you all to vote on. I'm going to pause because it looks like not a lot of you have voted yet. And it's a bit tied. Ooh. We have real volition, I guess.
There is no practical difference between real and artificial volition. All volition is an act of one's will. There is no provable distinction.
Alright, so I have a bunch of iron and carbon down here, which is why... Actually, let's not do this factory, but which is why I'm putting another steel factory in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade my carbon mines and iron mines in this area. So now that we have biotech, let's get additional spaceport limit.
To fully terraform Mars, we must convert the planet into an Earth-like habitat. The first step is to raise the planet's temperature above -50 degrees Celsius. At that point, nearly all the carbon dioxide trapped in the dry ice caps will be released.
Alright, I'm going to make sure that because right now my food's a little low, so I'm going to upgrade my water extractor and my chemical plant to make sure that the food factories are very, very well supplied. Because I don't want to run out of, food. Because then my colonists will exodus off the planet, leaving, and that's no good.
The first...
Alright, so space. Next up, let's have you all vote on next tech. I'm just going to do additional landing sites while you vote.
New space technology.
Should be very quick. 3 months, yeah, very quick. Alright, I'm about to have a brownout because I've added a whole lot of upgraded factories. I'm going to get a second food factory here as well. My spaceport is browning out, though. We'll get that up. So it looks like space... Well, I'm kind of already doing a space tech, but I could do another one.
I look forward to being able to create bases across the planet.
Alright, and more water extractors. Just making sure I'm not running out of any raw resources. Right now, I would say my steel is my bottleneck. So you all say go with engineering or space. I'm going to do engineering for improved roads so that we can travel faster. Alright, I'm going to prioritize my food factories to make sure that I am producing enough food, because that is a dangerous thing to run out of when I have people on the planet.
The carbon dioxide released from the dry ice caps will greenhouse the planet and trigger a runaway effect. And Mars's sterile atmosphere will change forever. Once we reach that point, there is no turning back. Forever. Why does that sound so intriguing?
Okay. So forever. It's inspiring, number 1. It's scary, number 2. It's permanent, number 3. Let me know what you think.
I am leaving a permanent trace. It may be selfish, but Mars will never be the same, and it will be because of me.
Alright, so I don't really have any bottlenecks right now, which is good. I don't have any raw resource bottlenecks other than food, and I'm working towards food. Yeah, let me mine up another chemical plant and put another food factory right here. Thank you for watching the first episode of Per Aspera. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. A little reminder that this is a Twitch series, so there are many hours left yet to air. If you'd like to catch a live stream, either follow me on Twitch, the link could be found in the description, or hop on Discord and sign up for the Twitch announcements. Again, the link in the description. I'll catch you all next episode. Farewell, everybody.